Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Chappies Crypto, Bearish Bull, Frazier, Dave, Munners, Hannah, Gray, Chris B, Luis, Otto, Big Blaze, Bill, Young Cryptic, Kumar, Lecker, Joey, Boots, CO Bane, Old Ahab, yo, WSC over on Twitch. Good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing this morning? Crypto Chemist, what's up? Everyone having had a good weekend? Intro still looks good. Thanks. I think it's spelled right too, but you never know. Jingles, what's up, man? John Brennan, what's up? Mickey Davidson, good morning. Good morning. Mad Cats, what's up? Burn it. So, who's catching the short? Eric Smith, JKJ. Good morning. Good morning. I'm sure everyone's in full panic mode that we're gonna crash. The U.S. market just opened up right this second. Let's see what it does. You guys can see I kind of changed the layout a little bit, changed the volume profile, excuse me, to a cluster. Pretty easy to do. Go over here, change it to bid ask profile instead of volume profile. Boom. So let's find us some levels down. Definitely some volatility in the market this morning. So this is one of those days. Jake, Patton, yo. Yeah, let's bang those likes. Hunters, Aaron, good morning. This is one of those days that you can kill your account on trying to kind of FOMO in. You get a lot of people that they feel like they missed out and they really wanna get in, and just so happens that they didn't, and then they kind of FOMO in and really just ruins their whole account. Carl, good morning. So today's probably one of those days that you have to be the most careful of all days. What happens typically is you're just you wake up, let's say, and you see that the market's down and you're like, damn, I missed it, right? But you got to get out of that negative mindset. Don't think like, oh, you missed it. Just think about, okay, where's the next opportunity for me to get in? See if we can make some levels below. Probably pretty. Use trading. Yes, we have our 3488 level. And then we have our low down here, this 3032. Got a couple more. Getting close to that old downside, huh? Byron, good morning. Andy's afternoon. Caesar, yo. Airman, yeah, hello. Stack, good morning.
Support zone.
What's that footprint? Scott, good morning. We're gonna break these lows here.
Absorption support zone.
Oof. I got this new this new footprint chart. And it's supposed to give alerts for the ES, so see how it works. Scott Ski, good morning. Josh Brunson, Gustavo. Morning, good morning. Yeah, I can put this template in there. Did I save it? No gaps. There we go. Yeah, this one's just called No Gaps. Just one runner left on the guys.
Stop filled.
Oof. Quick price action. ETC getting attitude dropping like. Yeah, let me post it for you, Indies. Yeah, so the only thing that's different is it's a 24-hour, and it has the cluster chart on it. Oh no, your message is over 2,000. The fuck? Okay. Yeah, it worked. It worked. T-Lab, Peter Moore, good morning, good morning. Yeah, so the only thing I did with the template is just add the daily. I changed the volume profile. So volume profile was looking like this. I just changed it to a bid and ask profile. It's just the daily. Just looks clean. I also made another template that looks like this. Nope, not that one. Is it this one? I made a cluster chart. I was just messing around this weekend trying to see just trying to see a couple things, right? Just trying to see what ExoCharts is all about. I've been messing around with ExoCharts and GoCharts as well, because what I was trying to do is trying to get the chart to look like this. GoCharts loads up. So put it on like the 30-minute clusters like we have on GoCharts. But it wasn't. I mean, you can't do 2-on-1, which is stupid. It's like GoCharts has some good things and ExoCharts has some good things, but GoCharts is actually, upgrading their shit, and ExoCharts is not. I haven't seen oil this down lately. Yeah, it hasn't been down in a minute like this. We look at the L chart, 30 minutes. I'll drag. This is what my CL chart looks like. Tell that we were down pretty far. Let's load some days. Spoke to Dev at Go Charting yesterday. They're doing a lot of work over the next 2 weeks for crypto, so fingers crossed. Nice. Yeah, as you can see, oil's about at our little drop off point right here. So if we take a little marker, put it here, mark our lows, right? Matches up with this high over here. Mark this area here. They're kind of our levels down on oil right here. We've got this 68.52, 67.72, 66.11, and 65.38. You know, uh, uh, I don't know what you'd call him, a desk trader for oil, like an actual real trader for oil, told me that a lot of times instead of letting price go down to the actual dollar, like 62, let's say, they like to push it down to 78. So they like to take it down like right to 78. So people that have all their stops at 62 get stopped out, take it down to 78, and then bring it back up. So like right here, we're at 60. So let's see if we bring it down to 67, 78, which is almost where our line is at, which would make a little bit of sense. And then pop back up. There's like 80 million negative delta on BTC, big volume, and yet prices struggling to drop. Yeah, so that's what's going to happen is, um, when you're looking at this negative delta, so if we're looking at negative delta for the day, this one, It's yeah, it's like negative 68 million for this total session, I guess. I don't know if it starts back over. It doesn't look like it. But and if it doesn't keep going, right, what that's telling you is that someone's buying it up. Kind of like we talked about. I know we didn't really talk about it much in here, but if we take a peek at it on, yeah, guys, I'm managing this oil trade still too, so um take a look at the COT report this week. So we were kind of talking about this um yesterday in the Discord, or maybe on Saturday. I can't remember. I think it might have been Saturday. Um, but you're seeing, asset managers and institutional money. They added a little bit to their long position and basically just went net short on their they went neutral on their short position. So basically they're sitting like a 50-50, right? We haven't really seen them be net long, and they're not net long by much. Plus 42 contracts is not too much. When last week was like, double this. You see leverage funds, they have no idea what the fuck they're doing, so they just add to their long and add to their short. They did add more to their short, but this is just because they have no idea what the fuck they're doing. And that's typical of prop firms. They just gamblers, right? It's like betting on the pass line and betting on the don't pass line for any of you craps players out there, right? Yeah, you're gonna win for sure, but you just bet a little bit more on one and hope that one hits. You might as well just only pick one. So it's just interesting to see, right? Because you get you're getting these guys not really taking a side when they've pretty much been net short and really net short for a long time, right? They don't even have any spreads open anymore. If we look at last week, right, you can see they were cutting both sides. So they cut their long position and cut their short position. That was that profit taking that we were talking about last week. And then if we go 2 weeks ago, um, you see how they had added to their long position and cut their short position. And this was just profit taking, but you can see that they were still net short, right? 613 positions short, 542 positions long. So they were still net short there. The week before, which day is this? 2, right? And you can see the 22 of June, 22nd of June, the 22. The 22nd of June, they were, gosh, dude, this thing has a mind of its own. You can see that they were, really short, right? Got really short. They cut a lot of their long position, and so that's something to pay attention to. Right now, the U.S. market is rallying a bit, back up here to those 4270s, which was a decent spot on the way up. And so you can see, so 739, 419. We go to today's date, or the most recent data, which was the 13th of last week. We're actually net long. So managed money, right, or institutional money, asset money. These are big players. They're actually net long, right? So yeah, we are pulling down, but they have been accumulating position, not fast, right? And they're not 100% for certain, or else they would close a lot more of the short position. But they are buying the market, right? There's probably a lot of people on YouTube just telling you that this is the end. What's that song? This is the end as we know it. But time goes on, right? We're not worried about that here because we're just using the TPO to trade, right? This weekend, we had some good trades for sure. For those of you that caught some of those good trades, I know a lot of our members caught a lot of nice trades on ETH yesterday. Pretty sad that I didn't catch this ETH long. I didn't set an alarm. I wasn't focused. but it happens, right? The good thing is I didn't FOMO in, but I was just a little bit too focused on Bitcoin, I guess. But you don't see a lot of rallies like this from ETH, right? You're at 1906, and this thing almost went up 1,000 points. That's a pretty big. That's a Bitcoin move right there, right? That's like something that you're not really seeing too much. That's for sure. Then it retraced, of course, but the point is to catch these moves when they happen. We had a nice little breakdown of structure too. Bitcoin or ETH looks like it's I told you they were buying it up. ETH looks like it's back to trading like its normal self. I was trading ETH for a little bit.
Absorption support. Absorption
Oh, that shit
support
is
zone.
fucking annoying as fuck. Figure that out. Yeah, so I downloaded a new software this week for the for NinjaTrader for my footprint chart, so I can get it on a daily. But I guess it has something that tells me when there's support. It's fucking annoying as shit. I mean, I guess it could be beneficial if it was accurate, but I haven't really messed with it, so I'm not sure. I don't know how to turn it off, so we're fucked. Sorry about that, guys. Anyways, but yeah, ETH has been back to trading like its normal self, right? Putting in some nice structure, Here we get that nice corner kick play. Shuts us down. There's your entrance, right? A little bit less aggressive entrance. Entries here. And the cool thing about ETH trading to structure. So if you zoom in, right, and draw like a real tight structure, you get a little bit of an opportunity. You see this F low, you get an opportunity, and the bars on so you can really see to catch this on the pullback. Right, so we come over here, we break. This is where we're looking for it to break, right? So it breaks this zone, we start qualifying our trade. This bar opens up, pulls back right into the structure. That's where your short position is going to come from, right? Oops. That's where your short position is going to come, right? Or you can wait for it on the break and maybe sit through this pullback. Your stop is going to go up above structure. It's a little bit far of a stop. But you get this nice pullback, click that short here, stop goes here. As it breaks, you're looking for it to actually gain some momentum based off your previous levels. You see that it put in some volume right here, right? So as it came down, kind of stuttered. That's when you move your stop to the low of structure in case it reverses on you. You see this thin spot here? That's a spot that price, if it comes up into this spot, can either come up and run, or it can come up and reject as it did. It came back up, rejected, came back down. And then for those of you looking to get into the position today, right, we saw the C period come up, came up to the volume, came up to these single prints, and then rejected down. So shout out to my 719 bootcamp members, for people who start bootcamp today. Ed, how's it going? Seeing some high volume come in here. The US markets are pushing back down, oil's still going. It's going. Careful shorting the bottom, guys. It'll be a tough game. Like I said, today's that day that's it's an account killer day where people, they feel like they missed out, so they feel like they've gotta get in, and they get in a little bit over anxiously. And what happens is, they they short the bottom and then they stay in saying, oh, we've gone down, so it's got to keep going down, and they get trapped, and then they lose all their money. Right? It's a tough go. Ian Hull, Munners, you're in boot camp today. Nice. I'm feeling good this week too. I feel a little bit bad about my people that went through last week. You know, I was sick all week. I am feeling. I'm about 90% back today. I wouldn't say 100. I still got a little bit of bug in my throat. I stopped drinking bangs. The money goes into my piggy bank. Oh, here we go.
Absorption support zone.
I stopped drinking bangs. I had my last one on Friday, and I think maybe, you know, I might be done. Might start focusing like I always talk about, like improving the body. And, you know, bangs just probably aren't that good for you. And, you know, they taste great. They give me the energy that I need, but I might just stick straight to the black coffee, the cold brew. You know, so might be what I have to do. Although I do love bangs, not gonna lie, they just taste good, you know what I mean? But if better to improve my body, you know, not gonna get those highs and goes. My money goes more down too. What do you mean? Your money goes more down? The US market is pushing down. You're seeing some buyers down here, right here, the bottom, but uh yeah. Yeah, those energy drinks, yeah, they're good. They taste good. But you know what? Um I just been drinking a lot of water, and then just drinking like 1 cup of the cold brew in the mornings, and just trying to oh, I drink a fuckload of water, Andy's. A lot of water. I've always drinking a lot of water. But it was just like the energy drinks were just like, you know, wearing me down. And when I was sick last week, you know, I was drinking like 2 a day because, like, you know, I wanted to have the energy. I didn't have a withdrawal, you know, because I still drink some coffee, but oh man, it's a nice catch up on this. Oh, close.
Absorption support zone.
Off computer. Um, I'll take some supplements. But yeah, I was drinking like 2 bangs a day because, you know, I felt terrible because, you know, I want to give, you know, 100% effort for those boot camps, but I was just, you know, I was sick, and it was just kind of dragging me down. So I wanted to make sure that that I could, you know, be on my A game.
Support zone.
Guys, market's really selling off. It's nice. And so you know, I was drinking one like for the morning stream, and then I was drinking another one for the actual boot camp. And, you know, it's just wearing me down a little bit, so, you know, I had to take a little break, you know. Maybe I'll drink one every once in a while, but I think what's going to happen from now on is you know, definitely none on the weekends, and then you know, maybe just stick to this cold brew. I got this local cold brew here called Clark's Coffee, and they make all their stuff in-house, and you know, it's great. So guys, we just ran through a huge bid on the ES. If anyone's trading the ES, welcome. My stop loss down a little bit. Nice. Personal experience before and after. Yeah, I don't take any supplements. I take a medicine called, oh motherfucker, dude. Just got my pen. I take a medicine called Synthroid because I have Hashimoto's. It's an autoimmune disorder. Basically, my thyroid hates my body and just doesn't work as well as it should. So, you know, it makes me have to watch what I eat and stuff like that. Looking for a good entry on the ES, Eric. I got in at 57.50. So I'm sitting pretty decent right now. But yeah, we're pretty low. I would wait for sure. Drinking Coke Zero a while ago for a similar reason. It's like a drug though. Yeah, you know, when I was watching this guy also on he was on the Joe Rogan show. It's where the Joe Rogan show gets me, bro. Just like I just like, you know, I like Joe Rogan and I like a lot of the people he has on the show. Uh nice, Andes, I'm glad you like it. Yeah, and so we're seeing a lot of this selling come in down here. So you see this selling and you know, not much buying. It's, you know, that's what it's telling us. It's just where it's traded the bid and the ask. But if we have all this selling, you know, how come we're not pushing through, right? So this could be, you know, absorption. This could be that Pac-Man moment where someone's just letting people sell into them, sell into them, sell into them, and then, you know, they're gonna take it back up, try to fill these singles. But it's you know, definitely a spot to be careful at for sure.
Stop filled.
Damn, dude. I got back ticked on that one, Eric. That thing jumped quick. That's all right. Today's a pretty good day trading on the ES for me. How do you look for your entries in the ES right now? So for that one, here I can show you. I can show you my ES trades. So for these are the trades I made off of this morning. So when the market opened, it kind of popped down, came back up, and I just waited for it to break the open, clicked the short button a couple of times. You know, this was my runner, ended up getting closed out for one tick, but close one here, added this one here, and then closed it for a point. This was my first trade, so about like 3.5 points, right? I'm not greedy. I'm not trying to capture like this entire move. I shorted two more here, and then I shorted two more again on the same spot when it popped back up. Closed most of them right here for 1.25, and then I let the last one run down, as you can see. So I had 5 short right here. Closed most of them for about 1.25, 2 points, and then left one runner. Right. I'm not greedy with my trading, guys. I'm not trying to capture like this whole move with like this huge you know, thing. It's just not worth it for me. It would be nice to catch the whole move, but you know, the point of the game is to last long, and I'm just looking to last long. You know, there's no need to get greedy out here. Mark will be here every day. Be here tomorrow, be here later today, be here on Tuesday. Right? Most likely. You know, I can't say for sure, you know, never know what's gonna happen. World's a crazy place. But I can say with almost certainty that we will be here tomorrow. Let me catch up with some of these comments. Decentralized, good morning, good morning. Yeah, so what I'm looking for in the ES, right? Answer that question before I forget. So what I was looking for was I was looking for it to come up and kind of fail to, so it popped up, right? I shorted below the open. As it came back down, we get this overnight session low. As it came back up, I shorted the 57, I think, which was the point of control. So I just waited for it to get underneath of that and not be able to come back up to you know, the value area high. Click that short, can't make it up to yesterday's low, and then just decided to get short. Right. So if you're looking here right now, right, if you were looking for a short, you'd want to see it stay below this be open, right? And this is the point of control. So we have a lot of volume coming in down here, as you can see. Right? See all this volume down here. So what I would be looking for is, this is kind of a little decent, I'd have to look at my levels on my other chart, but I mean, we're pretty low. I'd look for maybe this offsides play, try to trade it back up to here. Like I said, I'm not looking for like these huge moves. I'm looking for, you know, like I said, for you guys just starting out on the ES, you guys should be looking for about 2 points at a time, eight ticks, and you know, that should be it. You shouldn't be getting greedy. I want to see what B is going down. Yeah, yeah. If we're that close to B, if you're within like 3 minutes of B, you know, don't force it. Here we go. B's breaking. Fuck, I clicked the wrong button. No fill. Oh well. There's a good trade here if we stay patient with my spider senses. Andy's what you're looking to catch this offsides play if it goes. So you have Byron, you have Hashimoto's? Oh yeah. Oh dude, do you have let me copy this real quick. Dr. Elizabeth Wentz. Is that a book? What is protocol? Sorry guys, Hashimoto's is sometimes a pain in the ass, bro. So you gotta take advantage when you find out some good information. The book, okay. Oh, you can get it on audio CD. Who the fuck listens to audio CDs, bro? Oh, it's on audiobook? Nice, I'll just get on there. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you, thank you. Roman should do less high. I like when he's high. He's funny. I like when he has like I like when he has the like scientists and stuff on there. I like when he has like people that are actually smarter than him, not like other comedians. We're putting in good excess on the B period, right? You want to see if volume is going to follow. And I'm talking about on the ES. Here we go. We're getting volume pushing us down. See when if buyers are going to step up. Buyers stepped up. They'll push us back up to 41 quarter. Boom, magic. That's called you fade the bottom, my friends. That's what it takes right there. And that's what you get with the TPO, right? And now we're continue back down, but you just catch a nice little fade trade off the bottom and just go from there. All those late shorts on BTC getting the Pac-Man treatment. Yeah, Joey, they are. They're getting ate up. They're having a tough go. And so that was just a one lot trade on the ES, right? Let me show you guys. And it was just for 1 point, just a little fade trade. Nothing greedy, just getting my fill, getting my point, and getting out of there, right? No need to get greedy or anything like that. But you see here, so I waited for price to come down. We saw some good volume come in right here. I bought the market right here, popped up a point and took profit, right? Could have ran it, right? Still going up. But you just saw, you saw the heavy volume come in. We put in this good excess, right? And then we got to what's called an unfair low, right? So if we're looking at our profile, we're down too far and nobody wants to sell down this low, right? We're down 1.75%. We're down 75 points on the ES, right? And so that's a pretty low spot to be down. And so you can kind of think of this, kind of like a pendulum. And I was kind of thinking about this earlier. So if we have like this thing's on a rope and we get down to an unfair low and this thing, is pivoted in, as it, it swings out and down, eventually it's going to get back to its counterbalance and then swing forward, right? Is it going to swing all the way past up, past the middle, right? Well, you have to wait and see because that's where the fair value of price is going to be at, right? So right now we have the POC for the current session right here. And so this is where fair value is at. This is where the most trades have, or where price has spent the most time. And this is what's going to determine the fair value of price. So now that we've got our lower excess, might want to see if we can get up a little bit higher. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, ladies. You guys heard that song? Somebody knew that song. So there's this guy, old guy, walking down the street. He walks past this fish market, turns to his right, takes a deep breath, and goes, "Good morning, ladies." Now we're seeing Bitcoin kind of turn the corner. It gets turned on the downside. We got our one dislike, classic, because it's already on. Took the Bitcoin Brad alert. So, what song is that? Actually, I think that name is Crazy Rap. Yeah. So, yeah, for sure. See you. When we're looking at the current price action of Bitcoin, right? Gold 45 nailed it. Maybe that's all we need. Yep. All right. I see you. I see you, Bears. Me and Bears probably listen to the same style of music, I imagine. But yeah, so we saw the structure, right? Break a structure, sells off. We saw our basically profit taking right into the singles push down, and we're just kind of slowly creeping down, right? So basically what's happening here, to me, what it looks like is there is some heavy selling, and what's happening is people are trying to buy it, but they just can't find the support, right? And so let's go back to our block these so they don't get all fucked up. Back to our current price action so we can kind of look at our levels. Good taste in music, yeah. Is there a way to like really just make this faster? Here we go. And so we see we kind of bounce right off that level. So that's a level that we were looking at previously that kind of shows us as where it got defended on the downside. Oh yeah, you gotta have 50 on the Spotify playlist, bro. It's a must. Matt Flint, good morning. Good morning. Afro Man, Colt 45, yep. And so go to go charts, right? And we can see where the heavy selling is going on and where it's kind of getting soaked up at, right? So we saw some heavy selling at the bottom. Nothing is really trading on the ask, everything's trading on the bid. And so what that's telling us is that, you know, probably a little Pac-Man action, soaking up these red dots. I could make them actually dots, bro. Won't, right? And so with this, right, you want to see this is the area here that sellers are going to come back in or should come back in to defend, and then ultimately up here where the point of control is at, which is this 3078 level, that's where you want to see them actually defend if they're going to be serious. If not, you know, buyers could catch a little bid and try to run into these single prints. That could be what they're after. We make a little zone. A little bit translucent. That's where we should see, you know, maybe some sellers come back in. Let's clone this thing. I don't know where it posted, but maybe another thin one right here. These are just areas, you know, that you need to watch as price retreats a little bit, as people start taking profit on the way up, to see if they're going to be serious, right? So here we're back to that heavy volume. Yes, welcome everybody that is here for the first time. If you're here for the first time, click the like button. If you are watching on your phone, click the X on the chat, then click the like button, then click subscribe, click the bell so you get the notifications, and then open the chat back up. You'll be back into the chat. So don't be afraid if you're watching on your mobile to like. Bruh, Big Chungus, welcome. I think you're new. I never seen your name before. So if you're new, welcome. Join the Discord, and welcome to the Matrix. Yeah, so we're seeing this heavy sell volume, right? Ultimately this is the area that we're talking about on that other chart. If it comes back up here, we should see sellers move back in. Sellers are going to try to defend this area, but this is how it works, guys. So these people are selling, right? Somebody's buying it on the way down, right? Like we talked about, how would you recommend a novice get into the TPO footprints and shiz? I would recommend taking the boot camp, man, honestly. It's actually a really great class. It actually starts today. I don't know if there's any open seats. I saw James say that there's like 3 open seats, but there's another one that starts next week on Monday as well. But if you just got here, join the Discord and introduce yourself in there. If you have Discord, I would definitely, if not, download it. It's free. Introduce yourself, and then all the members, we're a community here of supporting people, and anything that you need, bro, we will help you out. That is for sure. For shizzle, as they say where I'm from. For shizzle. Bearish bull, there you go. TradeVest.com. Check out the website. The TPO Bootcamp. Yeah, and there's a bunch of reviews as well. Right? So I'm excited. I'm excited about today, guys. Feeling good, drinking some cold brew, feeling good. What's your ES is still, yeah, ES is just, it's chilling down there. What was your normal trading style, bro, if you don't mind me asking? So we're seeing it get above, right? Let's look at, so we're seeing it get above these sellers. So now that we're above where these sellers tried to sell outright, I want to see if buyers are going to come back in this spot. Or Kosh, thank you for subscribing. Brad, I have been excited about every trade day since bootcamp. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. I feel like I feel like there's a lot of misinformation that gets out there on YouTube and even in paid courses, and I'm just here trying to share information in a way that's easily absorbed with everybody, and it's real. There's manuals and shit on it. It's just not a lot of people like to read the manual. If we excuse me, if we we posted the manual in the Discord, and I'm sure probably like 3 or 4 people maybe read it. I know I read it. I think Ferdy was reading it. I think Cryptic was reading it. I think there's a couple other people reading it. Bearish Bull probably read it. But it's a tough read. It's boring as shit, right? So I try to make it a little bit more exciting.
Absorption support zone.
Oh, here we go. Yes, wants to go down a little bit more. So thank you, Clockwatcher. Thank you. I'm glad that you enjoy it. Chirptone's reading it. Nice. Yeah, here we go. If we can get, don't get caught selling the bottom, my friends. Bits and pieces. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's a tough read. I'll especially like a lot of it's hard to understand too. So Chappie's a second. Yep, nice. Markets in Profile. Oh, that's a great book. Yeah, that's the thing about I fell asleep too the last few nights. Nice. Chappie's putting in that double work. It's nice when we can kind of get that basic information out there. Oh, somebody's buying the shit out of this bottom right here. Don't sell. Don't sell. Don't be shorting this low right here. Be careful at least. It's nice because you go back, you read a book, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I know what this book is about. It's like it's like when you learn a new word, right? Oh, you want me to post it? Let me look for it. I think I have it here on my desktop. Oh, okay, I got it. That's it right there. Profile. It's old too, so, but you know, they say, don't pick something that's not broke. You know what I mean? I guess the ES really wanted that downside right there. See, for me, it's just a little bit too low. I'll probably just hang for now. I've already hit daily goal. Oh, a little bit more. Damn, some big selling coming in at the bottom now too. This oil just, it's like just won't quit. I love it. I've been short in oil for like, I don't know. What time is it? 7? So about 12 hours now. Yeah. About 12 hours, so I'm just gonna let it fucking drop till it wants to stop. Just got Mind Over Markets. Nice. Yeah, that's a good book as well. Yeah, James Dalton, Mind Over Markets. Yep. Will be good for reference. Yeah, it is good for reference too. And you just click on it, hit that Control F button, and fucking find what you're looking for. Just be careful, right? Some of the stuff in there is old as shit, right? So they talk about like the 80% rule in there. That's just old. Doesn't really work much anymore. James Dalton doesn't even use it anymore. And then also the initial balance, he's not a huge fan of that anymore either. So I actually have a phone call scheduled with Jim Dalton next month. I was able to get a hold of his people yesterday, which was interesting because I got this call from Vidor, Texas, which is where like his people are at, and I was like, I ignored the call because I didn't recognize the number, and I called the number back, and then this lady answers, and she's like, yeah, she's like, you're trying to get hold of Jim, and I'm like, yeah, and so she she got me on his schedule. So I'm gonna get to talk to him on August 11th, and it's gonna be pretty cool. Talk to a legend. Actually pick his brain for a little bit. So I'll ask him. Maybe I can stream the phone call. I doubt it, but maybe. I don't know if we'll be able to get him on the stream. But it would be really cool. Yeah, it would be. I mean, it would be just amazing, like to get him on here. But he's a pretty busy dude. So we saw those sellers come back in. Here we go. Bitcoin's gonna keep going, breaking through these levels. Immediate reversal right there. That's quick responsive buying right there. That's quick responsive buying. Oh, just reading that 80%. Yeah, I wouldn't use it. What do I want to ask him? I want to ask him about options, right? See, look how quick that reversal is, guys. There's that offsides play that we talked about. Look, already back up. Andy's, I know you probably caught this. Fucking reversal. He's the offsides master. See how quick that responsive buying is? So when you have an impulse zone like that, right? So we break the bottom, we push down, and then we immediately push back past the impulse zone. And look, we're back in our resistance zone. You're seeing some selling come back into that spot. We want to see him get back above here. If buyers are able to push it back above here, right, you're going to see some buying come in, right? Might see some selling a little bit at the 740, but you'll see some buying come in. Of course, they have to eat through all this first, of course, but that's going to be the spot. My big question, because I trade the ES a lot, is how he uses options. You got it at 3,400? Fuck yeah. Nice, nice. Damn, dude, you fucking nailed that shit. Good shit. Don't let it turn into a loser though. Be careful there. Trading in the zone is fucking awesome. Oh, did you read Richest Man of Babylon, Bearish? That book is so good, bro. So good. And it's underappreciated for sure. But so what I want to ask him is I want to ask him about options. So he does he mostly trades options, like, so he doesn't trade direct futures. He does sometimes, but not really anymore. He's 80 years old, guys. He's a pretty he's up there, but still mentally sharp, sharp as fuck. And he is he's just, he's like Michael Jordan of trading, right? And if you guys ever, his stuff is expensive, right? But if you guys ever like read his books or just listen to how he teaches, he's used to teaching to professional traders, so it can be a little bit confusing. But you can tell just by listening to him that he is out there for the people. He's not out there to make a buck or to do something like that. He's out there for the people, trying to actually teach people, which is one thing I really like about him. But he utilizes options. So let's say if he wanted to buy like a short option right here and the market started going up, he would just buy the market and hedge against this position. And so it's a little bit bigger of a strategy. It's a little bit more risky, but also gives you a little bit more leeway. So it's an interesting style that I want to pick his brain about. And then I also want to talk to him about about why, like, what got him into this like the teaching portion of it, right? Because he ran an institutional money firm, but his passion, if you ever listen to him or anything, his passion is teaching. He really loves to teach. That's why he's doing this. And so it's interesting. It'd be interesting to see. And he's been doing it, and he's 80 years old. Like, he doesn't have to do it. He most 80-year-olds aren't doing shit, but he's still out there. Like, he's running a live training webinar this week, I think, or last week he did. Yeah, that he was the chairman. Him and his brother are both on the CBOT. Yeah, and I want to ask him, some things about, some things about the about what he finds, like, people take in, if anything like that.
Absorption support zone.
And remix.
Support zone.
I'll figure out how to turn that thing off, guys. Super annoying. But yeah, I want to figure out, like, things like because I've been teaching for a while. Within the military, we teach a lot. 897, what's up? So I teach a lot of classes. I've taught a lot of hand-to-hand combat, right? But not a lot of, and I've taught a lot of, like, PowerPoint classes, but not a lot of, like, Zoom classes. But I feel like it's going well, and it's nice, and so it'll be interesting to see how he's liking it, because I know a lot of his classes were in person, but then he's transitioned to this online thing just because it's easier to reach more people. He's pretty old. He doesn't have to travel, so it'll be interesting. When someone buys a car, then you see it everywhere. Yeah, that is true. Like when I got my Altima, even though I always see Altimas everywhere where I'm at. Altima's like that that car that everyone drives. Some people will get that, some people won't, but all right. Now we're back down to the impulse area. So sellers came back in. They came back in at this resistance zone. They're pushing price down. They want to get below the impulse zone to kind of get in control. What do we got? 4 minutes until the next bar opens up. Let me catch up on the chat real quick. I feel like I'm getting behind, getting distracted. He's got a good support crew that keeps the train on the tracks. Yeah, you know, and he's blessed with that. And, you know, same thing with me at 3 a.m. We're blessed to have you guys as far as like, you know, there's just so much love and so much support in this community for everybody that you know, that helps everybody out. Anytime anyone has a question, if I'm not able to get to it, right, or even, you know, I'll see somebody tag me and then I'll go to look at the post, and then, you know, someone's already answered it. So it's you know, it's awesome. We've got a lot of people getting through the TPO Bootcamp, a lot of people that are, you know, certified and, you know, understand it fully. And you've got to understand, right? Like, just because you go through the TPO bootcamp, you're not just going to start winning every single trade. Like I always say, like, I don't win every single trade. It's not how, just not how it works. No, and anyone that tells you that they do win every single trade is just full of shit. So. Oh, on this one? Yeah, yeah. And, so the footprint right here, Andy's, is basically, this is what trades on the bid, right? So we have, if you're looking at a DOM, right, people have bids here, they have asks here, right? So in order for this person to sell something, they either have to move down and sell it on the bid, or if someone wants to buy something, they have to move up and buy it on the ask, right? And the ask is the asking price, the bid is the bidding price. So imagine if you're at like a flea market or something and you're saying, okay, I want to buy this pair of socks for $1 a bag, and this guy says, I'll sell them to you for $1.50. Right, one of you guys is going to have to bend, right? You guys can meet in the middle, but one of you guys is going to have to move up and then execute the order. And so the red side, the left side, is when sellers move over and sell things to the bidder. So this guy 150 moves down and sells it for $1, and it's going to show up on the left side of this cluster chart. And when the buyer moves up and buys it for 150, it's going to show up on the right, which is going to be the green side. And that's going to tell you aggressiveness of buyers and sellers. So these buyers are moving up and buying it here. All right, we have our resistance zones where we saw lots of sellers and lots of buyers coming in within these prices. Right, you see a big seller here come in, big seller come in right here. Now we're above it. We want to see if buyers are going to fill in this spot, buy it back up into our next resistance zone. And it's basically just showing you the aggressiveness. And the reason I like it is, and I really like the one that they did on Exo charts, is because it shows you, it gives me like this little Coke bottle shape, right? As they say, like the, you know, like they describe the perfect body type for a woman is like a Coke bottle shape, right? Not that I agree with that, but, you know, this is, you know, what you're looking at. So you have our single prints here, right? You see where the volume is at. So this is going to let you know, as price comes back up to these single prints, where you're going to see some sellers probably try it again, right? And then sellers probably try it again. And then we get back up to here into structure, right? Where we had a lot of volume before. That's going to let you know that it's going to be not an easy task to just, you know, power through all of that. And, you know, the same thing down here, we have our point of control right here. And as we get above our point of control, this is the fair price, right? This is where the most transactions have been done. It's where the most time has been spent. This is our point of control. This is our TPOC over here. Time point of control, volume point of control. So you see a lot of volume coming in below this time point of control. And as it comes up, right, you can see some of the thinner spots till it gets to these single prints, right? So this is not a good spot to be buying into. Above this D would be a decent spot to try along to try to close some of these singles, understanding that if it doesn't get up to there, right, and it fails right here halfway up in between this gap, then that's where you need to say, okay, that was a no-go. That was a bad trade. I need to call it, need to get out of it, right? That's how you keep those winners small. And you know, as I expressed to you guys um over the weekend, right now I'm 3 for 5, but what happened was I was actually 2 for 4, so I was shooting 50%, and I can show you, you know, kind of how my trades went this weekend. So I shorted here a little bit late on this kick, right? Was able to secure a little bit, but didn't get didn't get everything that I wanted. Um, I just expected us to go a little bit lower, right? We broke that structure and then we didn't go, but I mean it was a decent trade. Um, the first short that I took was here. Yeah, it was actually like right here, but it didn't go. Ended up closing that one. I ended up letting that one actually turn into a loser. It wasn't much of a winner anyways, but ended up turning that one to a loser.
Absorption
This one,
support zone.
uh, this one,
Absorption support zone.
that thing is fucking annoying. This one ended up winning. Um, I shorted again. Yesterday I shorted on the 7. I shorted a little bit early, so maybe it was here. And then I'm on the wrong day. Fuck. I should just pull this up. Okay, here we go. This is this Saturday? Yeah, 17th. Okay, here we go. Now we're on the right day. So, um, I shorted the 558 here. It came down. This one was the small winner, basically just covered itself. I shorted it again when it came here, but it cut off. That's where I got that loser from. Oops. I caught some of this long on Bitcoin, but ended up closing it early, which was, you know, a little bit annoying. Added some here, caught the rest, right? Waited for the pullback. I didn't manage the trade very well right here. Ended up getting long and wasn't able to set up my profit targets in time. Ended up getting closed out for full position right before it just went like this, which was, you know, it was all right. And then my fourth trade was here. I shorted actually at like right above the 733, I think was my short, and ended up catching this down. I tried to let this run a little bit, so I actually let it come back here and end up closing the rest out here. I should have just closed it out sooner, but by keeping, so 2 for 4, right? I made I made 4 trades, was only correct on 2 of them, right? That gives me a 50% win rate. One was just closed for fees, so basically I consider that a break even. If you're just paying fees on the trade, you don't really lose anything. I just consider that a break even trade, but still, I just tossed it in the loss column because it was a winner that I could have taken a small profit and then let it go back because I was getting a bit greedy, right? That shit happens, you know. So, but then by keeping my losers small and my winners big, or not big, but just letting my winners win, it gave me a profitable weekend, right? First trade on the MES, short 43 to 37.75. Short 43 to to 37. Okay, nice. That's a good short. So you shorted right over that C open. I like that. That's a good short. Or like the pomegranate drink, eh? Yeah. Yeah, for real. The Dow is down 748. Yeah, the Dow's getting smacked. Down to almost 2.5%. Nasdaq's on the low, down at 1.5%. Yeah, the Dow's down 800 points. Dad laughed when I said remix. Hey, that shit was just going off, bro. It's annoying as fuck. I have to figure out how to have to turn that shit off. Yep, we are one time framing. Exactly. 100%. I shorted the VPOC on one of the trades. On this one right here. Yeah. Yeah, this one I was looking for the 5, right? So, and this is what I shorted about like the set 733, and this is what Crypto Chemist and I were talking about, because he shorted from up here, ended up closing it, and then I think he ended up jumping back on. But I just kind of sat through all of this. I sat through it pretty much like all goddamn day. And then this just happened quick, right? And that's what I was just waiting for, and then just bounced right back up. And the reason that it did bounce back up, I guess, and I was expecting it to go a little bit shorter, is because it couldn't take out that this lower it here. So it comes right back down to our previous structure low from a couple of days ago, just stopped on a dime and then turned back up the field. So that was just me being a greedy little pig. That's all. But then today, shorted the same spot, caught that, closed when we came back up above the 650. 650. Let me look on my thing. I need to get hotkeys for this Epic pen. Just drink our flows. Sometimes get the feeling that it's going to go, like a second sense. Sometimes like, so with this one, right? The reason I sat in this short all day was because we've just been trying, it's kind of like last week, if you guys remember, just kind of tried it, and it just doesn't go anywhere. It just runs out of steam. Most of it is just stop running, and we have an upper structure that we've kind of been trying to get into, for a while now. We have our big resistance zone up here, right? Failed it. And then, if we were to draw another zone, it would, or I would draw it just like this. You could even maybe zoom this one up a bit. But we basically just could not break up into that zone, right? It didn't even touch it right there. And all I'm basing that off of is just this lower value areas, right? So we're seeing value area gets a little bit lower. Then we have this double distribution day where a position gets built here, get a bunch of trapped long inventory. They have to cover. Inventory gets short, right? Try to crack a low, aren't able to. Same thing the next day. This is where you caught that offsides play, Andy. That was excellent. And we just trade back back up into this zone, and as we get back up into our balance zone above, we fail it again, right? And so now we're trading back on the low, and now we're really getting some low pressure. And here comes that play that we were talking about earlier. So a break of the D bar, we got back above there. Let's see what happens. See if we're getting some real buying coming in. Back up past these resistance zones. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I tend to draw my own structure. Structure is going to be a little bit different than, for everybody, right? But for me, like if I'm drawing structure right here, I'm drawing structure like this, right? This is like, this is like my 70% of this, overall structure here. I'm basically drawing my own little 70%, right? Because we're trading, most of the time, unless you're swing trading, we're trading for this play and this play only. We're not worried about what's going to happen when price gets up to this structure up here, because we already know what's going to happen, right? So, Tom, good morning. So I like to find my own little structure here, right? And this is where I expect selling to happen here at this 11 million. We're back into this little resistance zone. We powered through this one. Um, and this is where I expected to see some extra buyers come in, right? But we didn't really get to see it. We didn't get back up to here where they like the buying. So that's where like if you were to take this trade off of here and price comes up, then you've got to get out, right? So that's going to be a wash if you were to have taken that trade. It is a break of the one time framing, which is interesting, but see how much steam it has, right? Look for it to gain some support off that point of control and off this delta point of control. I guess that's what that is. I don't know why it's on delta, but I know I missed some questions. Let me find them. Yes, I'm getting it. We're all getting these light bulb moments. Yeah, exactly. That's what it's all about. Just getting these light bulb moments, right? You hit them and you're like, oh shit. Chirp, I shared it. It's in the Trade Vets Discord. Underneath the I might have shared it. I might have shared it in the wrong fucking spot. Who knows? Let's see. Oh no, I shared it in the right spot. Exo charts. Yep. Here we go. We're coming back up to that impulse zone. And so another thing too, guys. So when I post those trades, right? It took you two boot camps to get the light bulb. Hey, at least you got the light bulb, right? I mean, and that's the thing is like you've got to understand is that some people are gonna catching on to things faster than others. And my older brother, he has this quote that I really like. So I'm probably gonna have to steal it from him. And it's for me it really hits home because it touches everybody, right? So it's the quote is no matter what you do, no matter where you're from, you have to hustle. Right. And so some people think of, oh, their hustle like on the corner, they gotta hustle to make some money, right? Hustle up. You think about it like you're playing sports, you gotta hustle up, you gotta grind to get to the starting spot on the team. And hustle could just be meaning hard work, which is what it means for me, and what it should mean for everybody, right? Is you've got to put in that hard work if you expect to make it, right? You can't just pop the TPO up on your chart and think, okay, I'll just trade the break of every structure and I'm gonna win, or I'll just pop into the Discord and copy everybody else's trades. Anytime anyone posts a trade, I'll just take their trades, and then I'll be happy when they win and send them a hate mail when they lose. When I'm posting those things, is you've got to look at them like, okay, I want to go long on, let's say I said the break of D bar, right? So let's erase this. What's the D bar? So I want to look to go long on that break of D bar, this 3744, right? And so what I'm saying is when this breaks, this is where I start look to qualifying my trade. Yeah, sometimes if it just starts to go, you've got to mark it in, right? But when it breaks, that's telling me that there's actual buyers, right? Because now we've broken that one time framing and we have sellers sitting here that are trapped, right? So as we start to get into these singles, these people are going to go from selling, turning into buyers. They're going to be getting out of their positions, right? We're going to see, possible liquidation back to the upside. Am I certain that it's going to happen? No, there's no way, right? There's no way to know for sure. Every trade is 50-50, like I always say, but that's how I'm thinking of it. Rewatch a class daily. Yeah, that's the best way to go. Getting sick of light bulbs. I'm an electrician. Hey, you could do both, man. That's a cool thing about you could be like a maybe open up your own business and maybe only do the jobs that you want to do. That's the whole thing this is all about, time to value, right? You have a skill, especially in the United States is a very valued skill. Um and if you set up like your own business, you just be like a handyman. People are always needing extra help and you can just take the jobs that you want. They call you, they want a job done and you say, "Okay, yeah, sure, I got time for that." And take that job. And you know, you're trading for yourself. Yeah, that 10K thing that Chappie's made is great. If anyone hasn't checked that out, definitely check it out. I don't know if you're still in here, Chappie's, but if you are, definitely post that real quick. Um, it definitely does help you stay on point, right? Help you not get greedy. Helps you understand that, making 1% a day is all you need to uh, you know, times that money up. And if you do that every day for 3 years, well, not every day, but your 230-ish trading sessions a year, then, we're gonna be called we're gonna have to change our trade name to the Millionaire Vets or something like that, right? The trade millions vets, because everyone in here is gonna be having $1 million. Don't pinch this, light bulb traders. Yeah, understanding how an auction works is the key, right? And I actually have for those of you guys that have already taken the boot camp, I think I have a better way. So I'm always brainstorming ways to teach something better because I understand that some people get confused in the boot camp, especially because I try to keep it as beginner as possible, but I understand that sometimes people can get confused. So I think I have a pretty good way, and I'm gonna try it out today. So if you guys want to tune in, definitely check it out. The one percenters chirp. Yeah, so for me, like, if I were to get a shirt that say one percenters on it, and then I were to go, let's say just ride around, probably catch an ass whooping from from an angel from hell, right? So it's not the best not the best idea. Bill B, yeah, you can get Bybit. Oh, Bybit. I think with an add-on you can. Yeah, the add-on that I have has Binance data on it. Um, I just started because everyone was using Bybit, so I just opened a Bybit account, and started trading it offline. Yeah, the one percenters are the motorcycle gangs here, and they're motorcycle clubs. They're not gangs. Just so you know, they don't like that term. I got a lot of good friends that are HAs. I put in one of my good buddies. I put his daughter in the army. A really good friend of mine. Really cool guys. They're not like shitbags or anything like a lot of people think. Like, yeah, some of them are criminals, but criminals do good stuff sometimes. So catching a nice little bid on the ES right here. So want to eat into some of these A prints. About to hit that. Here we go. Little thin spot up here, guys. 38 watching and 19 likes. On mine, it shows 61 likes. And it shows 66 watching. Could be wrong, though. Who knows? Let's see. I'll refresh. Enhance. Enhance. Who knows that movie? Enhance. Taking out D. Yep. Taking out D high. Think it will break halfback? Yeah, I think today, Eric, if you're talking about the ES, um, that it's not you've got some bigger position traders in here, so they're not worried about halfback. They're doing whatever the fuck they want. Let's look on our chart here. So we want to see. So now we're back to this 11 million selling, right? And as we get above it, you want to see if buyers are going to come in, right? So it's a trading cross like this naturally. Um, this could be an area that you watch for right above this period. And you see like kind of it came right up to there and then, selling came in. So let's identify some areas on the way up. If we start to eat into some of these singles, that we could see some sellers come in, right? So this area here, I really wish it would just save it. Saved. This area here. Can you explain halfback and how to use it for Bitcoin? Yeah. So halfback is going to be your halfback period of every bar. So basically you have the top, the bottom, halfway through the bar is going to be your halfback. And then also another way, another reference to halfback is going to be halfback of the session. So I guess probably easier to look at it on this. But halfback of the session is going to be marked by top hat. So we have our high here, our low here. Let's see, 31,849 and 31,412. Who's good at math? Thirty-one, 130. So our halfback's basically like right here at this spot here. Where I would expect, like, let's say if we start to eat through these singles, right? Which is going to be tough, right? There's going to be selling here, here. The top of this structure, which actually lines up like with this volume here, and the bottom of the structure, this is where you're going to see people try it again. But basically, basically, Magic Man, you're just looking for halfway up. And so like even when there's single prints, right? So this bar is here, halfway up is probably right there. Typically this is, mechanical buying. Short-term buyers are buying or selling on halfback. But we have some pretty good supply in the market today. So if they start to take price back up, right? If we get this accumulation and price goes back up, this is where you'll see some weaker hands or some sellers come back in with this halfway point. And with this halfway point, it might just come back down just a little bit, maybe to the top of structure, and then come up. You've got to understand a lot of the people selling on halfback or buying on halfback are not, they're just scalping. They're not sitting in the trade all day. They're not building like some huge position on halfback. They're just looking to push it to that spot, get a couple of ticks, and then go down. How did I make these levels? How do you create those red boxes on the chart? Are those support and resistance? No, I just made them. You just go up here to drawing, go up to shapes, and then these are all the shapes. I'll use the rectangle. I wonder why this is so big. Weird. Let's see if we can make a different one here. Let's see. We'll do this. Now that price is above it. We want to see if this is going to act as a support level. Now we've got just boxes among boxes. You know, James has been missing out. All these down days, these are his favorite days. And just been missing out. We are seeing the market, tried to rebound a bit. Basically broke the tops of that B period and is trading inside, so. Yeah, there is like a bunch of different spots to write success. And on Go charts, you can actually turn halfback on if you want to see the bars, but I don't want to see the bars, so I think maybe over here you could do it. Let's see. Andy cool thing. So let's see. Go to chart. Oh, chart. Go to layers. Cluster. Turn halfback on. Maybe you just have to zoom in to see it. I'm not sure. It's just like a little thin. It's hard to see. It's just like a little thin, little white line to see halfback. It's I don't know. It's they just haven't perfected it yet. That's it. Which one would you just go in deeper? The red boxes on the way up? Yeah, the red boxes on the way up are where I imagine sellers will come in. Of course, you're going to see sellers on the break into the single prints naturally, and then probably right here this 3080. But this like that 3100 level that just makes sense, right? And then up here to like right before the low of the structure, I think that they'll probably try to defend. In EXO, I've gone into text and top of the chart and it drops down. Can you go through them and advise which one to use? Are you talking about these, Andes? Not a huge fan of any of them, to be honest. I mean, if you're gonna use them, just make sure you understand what they do. Um, the VWAP I just kind of turn on and off because on EXO charts it just fucks up, so it's annoying. But volume, how important can this be? Uh, this is not the way that we look at volume, right? We look at volume from the side. We look at volume by price, not by time. And then T size, whatever the fuck that is, I don't use it. This is just telling you, what the buying and selling that's going on in the bar. Delta bars is like the CVD, and you can edit this to get like the line on it. I've seen some people do this. So you can show delta divergence, right? If that helps you, you can put it like overlaid on your chart. You can add the CVD line overlay. So if you want the CVD line in here, all those things. I just don't know the box that says text. Drops down onto the candles. Text. Oh, this one. Oh, okay, okay. I like the letters. You can use, you can try this bid and ask. It's a lot of information. It's just too much information. You're getting this same information over here anyways. I know some people try the imbalance. Maybe that helps. You can do the volume. You do bid and ask, delta. none. I just like the letters. There's just some things like that, that these things are lacking, right? Like they're lacking where the open is at. They're lacking where uh where halfback is at. I mean, it's a web-based platform and it's free pretty much, so you can't really hate on them too much for it. All right, so as we pull back,
Absorption support zone.
let's see if it pulls back into our, was resistance, now support. We're seeing some selling come in.
Zone.
Yeah, Chip, I have both of them, so it's just I mean, if you just don't have if you don't want to waste the money on them on having both of them, just pick which one that you like better and then go with that one. They both do very similar things, and you can do pretty much the same thing with both. So, they did say GoCharts did say that they're going to update it so we can get a cluster chart on a daily. So if once they do that, I'll probably drop XO, to be honest. But I just like this cluster chart, and I think it's this one. This one. Not letting me change anything. Why don't you just press the number and then it changes? Let's see if I refresh it. There we go. So this one has just the clusters on the daily. Then I have it on the imbalance. So this just shows you. So this is a way to look at it. It's kind of like looking at like this. If we look at the no gaps and then we zoom out, it just keeps it a little bit tighter, so I don't have to keep zooming it in or zooming it out, I guess. It's another way to look at it, right? This is time based and this one is volume based. It'd be cool. I should have moved that stop loss. Oh, where'd you get in at? Did you get in that break? Kept this types out at the POC. But this one is telling you, volume. So it'd be nice if we could compare them side by side, right? So like GoCharts has that 4x4. So once they create the daily, I'll put one on the daily. So with GoCharts, what I'll do is I'll probably use my 4 chart, and I'll probably have one of these be my daily cluster, and then I'll probably put ETH on this one or something like that, just so I can watch ETH and Bitcoin at the same time. I don't like that. There we go. Who caught that ES pop? Young Cryptic's like, me, I got it. Me, pick me, pick me. What's that from? Me. Who wants to go? She's a beaut. Here we go. Now let's see if we can build some singles. So we had that Depop pulled back right to the POC pretty much, right to our resistance / support area. That number thing is set up in TPL. What do you mean TPL? Lame. You guys know what movie that is? Me, pick me, pick me, pick me. Right, and like as it popped those F stops, if it goes up and doesn't start eating into these singles, that sellers are going to defend this area up here. If we go back to Go charts, right, you can see like where they came in originally. Uh-oh. She's frozen. working? There we go. Yeah, so we see that this is where the selling came in before. Oh shit. Power up above it. Nice. Jake, where'd you get in at? Where'd you get stopped out at? You had to stop right here at the POC? Because I know you took it on the break of D, right? So you must have just had your stop like right below it. Where's Z? Yeah, Z must be asleep, bro. He's on that Hungarian time and he's in the West Coast, so something to do with Will Ferrell. No, it's actually Shrek. You know, like when Shrek is gonna go to the castle. The corner kick play, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so but you want to see it, you want to see it break. The only thing is this corner kick play is gonna be a bit dangerous, right? Because we have these singles, right? And so we have some hard selling here, some hard selling here, I imagine. Maybe some weak hands up here. Money wants to go into my piggy bank, but sellers are not letting it. That's how I feel sometimes. I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Just get in there. You know, the worst thing is too, like, it doesn't really happen on Bitcoin that much because the moves aren't very like ticky. But let's say like if you're on the ES, right, and this is your take profit, what happens is, and because it goes off who's first. So like if I'm in here, Andy's is in here, uh, you know, Luis is in here, Frazier, fucking Young Cryptic, we're all in here, but I'm in line in the back, and it comes down here, and let's say this is a buying spot, but only like 4 sellers are selling, so they sell to Andes, they sell to Luis, they sell to Young Cryptic, they sell to Frazier, and then price moves away. So I'm just sitting here, you know, fucking holding my dick, didn't get filled. So, um, oh the yeah the Nemo, mine. Just deposited your bread for the challenge. Hell yeah, Luis. Luis, you could probably fucking sell your beard for fucking locks of love and make some money off that too. And that shit'll just grow back. So probably took you a minute though to grow that shit out. Oh, you were trading ETH? Oh, let's look at it. I know that's why I like GoTrust. I'm gonna have to switch my. You know what? I'll just do it now and then save the template. Uh, let's just figure it out real quick. Figure it out together. So here's this. Let's go to ETH. Let's just do a little quad spaghetti hands. A little quad chart. Where's Bybit? Okay. Here we go. Oh, what the fuck? Doing here. Here we go. Chart setup. Everybody pay attention. Watch how shitty I am at this. Let's turn off the clusters. Let's turn market profile back on. Let's look at the settings. Or order flow. What tick size are you guys using on ETH? Where's Chappie's at? Chappie's, what tick size are you using on ETH? ETH is like an ATM bin short. Nice, you're working on, yeah. I think this might be the ticket right here. So let's change this one to ETH as well. And I like the ETH USD guys just because it seems like there's more volume pouring through that. Tick size, you guys are using 1 on ETH. Tick size, where are we at? Here's on 35. zoom it out to really see. Let me see. Like zoomed out. That doesn't look bad like that. I don't know if I can start a poll. Oh, I could start a poll if I log in. I could start a poll if I log in on the other account, log into the TTV account. Oh, look at the profile layer. Okay. Yeah, mine's on 1. Yeah, so this doesn't look bad. It's not bigger for you guys. Stop finding you. I'll have to mess. I'll mess with it a little bit. That way we can get some nice size. Volume profile might have to go, but I'll mess with it. Entered a long 30% of the position at 36.87. Next 70% waiting to get filled at 35. Yeah, and that's cool. And that's cool. Like even if it doesn't get there, right, Mad Cat's like, you're looking at still making some a successful trade, right? And that's really the ultimate goal. Yeah, look where it came right up to our little resistance zone, and then people sold before it. What's that called? Front running, maybe. I mean, they're just watching our charts and front running our charts. I doubt it. I doubt we have that much pool in the game. I think I like this quad setup. Let me save this template. Save. Create new layout. Mega desk, right? Quad screen. Front running. Yeah, I would call it front running. I'll post this chart for you guys. Want to use it? Go charting. It should be good. Yeah, it could be a bit of responsive selling or front running. I'd say either or. Responsive selling would have came in right here probably on the break into the singles, and then we're kind of right back to that impulse zone. So this is how you're gonna know if the buyers really want this thing, right? We saw strong buying come in. That's initiative buying. Push for the break. You saw some more buying as we broke, right? Buying, kind of dies out up here because they know there's going to be a big wave of sellers. So, the market will auction back down, try to find some more buyers. Once it starts to find more buyers, then it can move back up and push through these sellers. Can you tell a bit about overnight inventory when looking at the open? Yeah. So like, um, I'm gonna put my ES chart over. So if we're talking about overnight inventory, right? So we have collapse the we have all of our inventory from previous session, and you can see these are my resistance lines, and then once we broke, that's where it's just like, all right, time to click the button. But you see how all the inventory, this is Friday's close. Basically, we opened, popped, actually it opened like right here, so basically just popped like barely and then just sold off. Saw a lot of inventory exchange in here, which is where the POC is at from last night, and then it just sold off. And then today we opened, ran it up just barely, got to that almost to that thin spot, and then sold up. And so when you're considering this overnight inventory, you know that everybody is short, right? Because of this was the close, right? So everybody is short. There's been people that have been trying to buy and getting crushed. And this is where you see all the people that got long in this area and this area, these single prints up here. This is where they got smacked. And so as it's coming back down, you saw inventory just getting short, right? Lots of volume coming in, everyone getting on the short side. Some buyers in the early morning taking some profits, relieving, and then more volume coming in, getting short. TPOC is down here, VPOC is still up here, right? These VPOCs are lined up. And so what this can mean, right, since we tested overnight inventory, and you know that we have single prints up here, so that's where the position is at, right? This is where you had a long position liquidation. So there's a short position here now, right? There's a short position here. So as price came back up and it didn't get up to that short position, that's how you know that you shouldn't be on the long side, right? As we come back down here, I'd have to look for the levels below. I haven't taken a trade since the that C period that we looked at last time. But you're just looking, I mean, for overnight inventory, just look at the value area, right? Look where the value area is at, and where did we open? We opened below it, right? So those gap rules that I posted are applying today. Gap down, go with the gap unless the single prints are filled, which they are not. So just go with the gap. And I didn't really get into the gap rules too much in the course because they mainly apply to futures. But they because futures actually close, so they actually have like an overnight inventory. But if you have a gap down, right, you've got to understand that on this push up, if we don't fill the singles, you're looking for maybe structure, point of control, something like that for price to hold on. And that's what's telling you. So, and especially if it comes up to like an exact reference that you were looking at, so, or if it comes up like right here, doesn't fill just barely by a couple of ticks, and then comes back down, that's a fade that a lot of people like. Can you say the actual ticker name of the ES you are trading? It's the ES0921. So if we go to trading view and you want to find it, just click ES, click futures, and then click the drop down, and it's the ES1 exclamation point. This is just going to give you the continuous contracts in front, and it's going to be this this U02021. The U contract is the September contract, the 9. But if you just do this one, you can see them all. This thing is delayed though. This price is at 52 right now, and this thing's saying 54. But it's not at 54 anymore. The data on here is no good. Look at these old lines that I've drawn. These are old. I haven't looked on this in a while. Big support down here. Look at this move. Right? These are the areas that we drew in class on Friday. We're talking about areas to see if it was going to hold. Comes down to it, back tests it, and then just goes. The big indication for me today on the selling was actually Twitter. For those of you guys that don't have Twitter, I know some of us are against it in here. It's that really clicked. Awesome. Glad to hear that, Eric. And I can dig more into it one time, like if you want to just get on a call or something, we can dig into it for sure. But not Michael Kidd. He's a funny dude though. Where's my boy at? Posting a look for him. Walter Bloomberg. Like I said, it's a great guy to follow on Twitter. He posts all this news all the time. Yesterday he posted this is the 16th. This is yeah, so yesterday he posted this tweet right here. The OPEC agreed to increase production by 400,000 barrels a month, basically. OPEC agrees to upgrade the production, right? So what happens, what we're thinking about, any value to supply and demand zones? No, they're garbage. Make your own zones. All those automatic zones, Eric, are just, all they are is pivot points. That's it. They're all just fake things to get people. I mean, if it's free, you could use it and use it as a pivot point. But they're just pivot points. That's it. So they change based off what time they're on and all that shit. So, so with this, like he posts a lot of stuff, yeah, because he posts all of the news, basically everything that he sees. He's awesome. But so basically, when you have supply and demand with OPEC, and OPEC is the people that talk about like production of oil. So they're saying that we're going to increase production by 400,000. So if we're at a market and someone is selling 100 apples, right, and there's 100 people buying, well, now they have 400 apples that they are going to be producing, and they got to sell them. So that's going to drive price down, right? Some people think the increase, they see increase, they get distracted, and they just click the buy button. Then they get their head ripped off. You got to think supply and demand. So there's way more supply now than there is demand, and so price is going to go down. And I'll pull over the chart. As you guys can see, we are getting we've got a lot of supply in the market today. A little bit. So this is EL. You guys can see it now. And so that tweet came out. That tweet came out yesterday at 1:08 p.m., which was actually before the market opened, which was cool. So as soon as the market opened, if I just zoom in on this up here for you guys, this is the open on oil yesterday. We had big range on the open because of the news. B period traded up, couldn't break it. C period traded up, couldn't break it. Now we're in that one time framing. That's where you click the short, right? I got into it a little bit late on this pullback, but I was a little bit distracted. So, but as you can see, we've just been taking a piss, as they'll say in England. And we're still, still on the lows, still going down. So yeah, if we didn't fill the single straight away, it's time to cut the trade. Yeah, if you didn't see some buying come in, especially when we had our little resistance zone at that level, right? So if we go back to here, we had that resistance zone. You saw price kind of die off. We didn't get any good volume up there. More sellers came in. Yeah, that would be the spot to cut it. Pull hard. What do you think of it? I watched a video with a bloke using it. Looks interesting. What are you talking about, Carl? Used what? What websites do you use for your daily morning market? Twitter is the fastest news, bro. Twitter is the best way. It's the best news. It's the fastest news, for sure. I found a really good analogy on one of the books for the auction, posted in the Discord chat about peanut butter in the grocery store. Nice. Nice trade. Yeah, the oil trade is nice. But I mean, it's just a news-based event, right? You know, you see that the OPEC, and I follow the OPEC thing pretty closely. So, you know, OPEC's going to increase their production. Should see a sell-off, right? Just had to wait for the weekends to get cleared out and then the actual down. Because what can happen on something like that, right? And this is the thing, is like people see charts like this and they just assume that they would make money. Excuse me. Is what happens is, you know, we have this open, people start shorting, right? And then retail gets short here, price rips back up, they get stopped out. So all the weekends are shaken out. All the people that like FOMO'd in at the lows are out. And I mean, because this is only 750 to 7120, but that's a pretty, on oil, that's a pretty decent amount. I know it might not seem like much, but at $10 a tick, so $10 a penny, that can add up quick. And what happens is they get shaken out, and then the real people short again. So they built a position here to get short. Price came back down. They built a real position short on the way down. Took out the last bit right here on this rip up, and then this pull down. This is where all the people that got long got liquidated, and then, you know, then we just had a skydiving moment. Pulled our jump out of the airplane and just, you know, fly to the bottom. Now we're just trading back into structure. We have our little support zone down here. We have our two previous little resistance zones. See how they go. ETH tried to eat into some of its singles as well. We had to draw a little support zone on ETH. See if it gets some buyers down there. Yeah, are you guys liking Trader 8? I haven't checked it out. I know Trader 8 runs like that. I don't want to call it a scam, but that funded trader thing. You know, you guys got to be careful with something like that. Oh, we finally got that second dislike. Nice, nice. So his brother's awake now too. I like it. I like it. But yeah, you guys gotta be careful with that funded trader thing, because what can happen is you can get kind of stuck in that funded trader program, and you end up just paying money every single month, like $100 here, $100 there, $100 there, and at that point you'll fucking spend $1,000, and then you should have just bought fucking Ninja Trader at that point, you know. So, you know, be careful with that, because you'll start to see that, especially if you download a TraderBait account. I'm sure they hit you guys up about it. It is 8:30. So we're about 2 hours in.
Absorption support zone.
Okay.
Absorption support zone.
I'm gonna have to put that in the song once we make the song. We are seeing you know, seeing some selling come in. ETH chart is acting like a little weirdo. Look for it to hold the low structure, right? You see this big area down here where sellers got busy and buyers came up. Look for it to act as support now. But the lucky dislikes, yeah, that's cool. Maybe they just don't like me, you know. Here, what's up, bro? Classic. Yeah. But yeah, I gotta get ready for this class. We got some good stuff coming on. I got some stuff to get done. I'm gonna hit some weed whacking. Normally we get off stream. I like to get a workout in. But today I'm gonna do some weed whacking instead. Right, my backyard grass needs to get getting deep, way back out in the back. So I'm gonna have to get out the weed whack and smack it down. Elbow cough, elbow bump, virtual hug. Perishable. Thanks, bro. Um, but yeah, so we will see you guys at 12 Pacific time. Probably jump in there a little bit early, 15 minutes early. Get set up. What I recommend is everyone that's in the boot camp today, make sure that you bring your brain, keep it open, get that pen and paper ready, and I will see you there. Other than that, you guys have a great morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you're at. And make sure you are managing risk and sticking to your trade plan. You guys have a good day.